concentrated on utilizing technology to allocate current and potential physical security threats through monitoring different social media platforms in different languages and allocating any movement that indicates potential increase in security threats. Our clients were humanitarian agencies, press agencies, those who do come to conflict zones to help and to assist. That was something that was genuine, and we found very useful for the environment we were in.
Welcome back, listener, to another exciting episode. In this episode, we will be discussing about the different security solutions. And to discuss about that, we have Hussein with us. He's the CEO of Crownox. It's a security company. They provide security in different aspects. So a warm welcome to Hussein, and tell us about yourself and what you guys do.
Hello, Hudhaifa. It's a pleasure being with you today. Thank you for hosting me. So I'm Hussein Nasruddin. As we discussed, me and you before starting recording, I live in Jerusalem, but I'm constantly on the go around the Middle East and North Africa, as I run a company called Crownox Risk Mitigation Solutions. And in Crownox, we provide Fortune 500 companies, major companies, and high net worth individuals with holistic security solutions that start from travel security, anything you require to secure yourself, your assets, and your human resources during traveling, and due diligence, background checks. That is the piece of information you would need to minimize risks while conducting businesses overseas. In addition to many customized services that our clients hire us for to assess potential and current threats and provide solutions to those challenges.
Okay, that is great. So, can you tell us about what inspired you to go into that security field and work with different clients and in that particular field? Because it is not you can say a computer science field or a graphic designing, not a usual field we talk about with everyone. So it's a different thing, right? It is very interesting to me as well. So I just wanted to know what is the inspiration behind it?
Of course. So born and raised in Jerusalem, and I've studied in the West Bank. I've always lived in a challenging political environment. As you know, we're part of one of the longest political conflicts on earth today. And growing up in such an environment of uncertainty, it was always interesting for me to find trends within this chaos. So I started building a startup called Red Crow Intelligence a few years ago, and we concentrated on utilizing technology to allocate current and potential physical security threats through monitoring different social media platforms in different languages and allocating any movement that indicates potential increase in security threats. Our clients were humanitarian agencies, press agencies, those who do come to conflict zones to help and to assist. That was something that was genuine, and we found very useful for the environment we were in. As any other startups start by facing a problem and trying to solve it. That's how it always starts. And for us, it was the place we were born. There was a lot of problems related to the politics, and we were trying to enable those coming there to build a better reality, maintain their safety and their security. From here, everything started, and we specialized in humanitarian agencies, support, and press, as I said. But after doing a good job in such a challenging environment, we were hired by many to serve international companies in nearby regions and countries. So from Jerusalem to Amman, Jordan, and then to the Gulf, we started gaining more and more reputation, and we started receiving different requirements that are related to physical services such as close protection, travel security, or even logistical support and coordination. We find those challenges very interesting. Today, we ended up serving many other clients, including energy companies, specifically green energy, and cargo companies, startups, unicorns, and high net worth celebrities and individuals that are just there for business or for providing events related to the entertainment industry. So we stopped being only the problem solver in a conflict zone, and we scaled into the global market. But we gained it all from that challenging place.
Yeah, that is a very inspiring story, that regardless of being in a bad situation and cursing yourself like why I was born here, and you just think of it as a challenge and just build something on top of it. Like a lot of people say, like, just find a problem and then find a solution of it, and it's like a great business. So you just did that, and it's amazing. And about the thing that you talk about, like getting data from social media initially when you started, and like different sources, and then detecting threats from it. So like I'm just curious, like is it like allowed to scrape data from different profiles, or like is it required like special like privilege or access?
Mm-hmm. So this is one of the typical questions we had from investors when we first started, and it's about what kind of data you're looking into. So if you're a marketing company for a B2C product, you will always want to know what people prefer, their reactions, their habits, and that's where it's a slippery slope to get more into private information that are prohibited.
Okay.
But in our case, we are looking for events, and why social media is very powerful when you're looking at events that might affect the well-being and safety of people. It's because most events are accelerating through either mobilizing the public, or at least notifying specific groups of specific activities. So it's always open. It's always on the open source. It's a post. It's a share. It's something that someone wants to gain a more power by sharing with other elements. And that's where we get our value from, allocating early warnings, we call them, very fast in the process before the event exaggerates and accelerates. And most of the time, it's always open source information that are legally available for everyone.
Yeah.
What we did to actually gain value is we built a machine that can read all this open source information in different languages on wide capacity that can cover more and more data and analyze it very fast. That was the value, but we never went into more private private accounts.
Yeah, I think like, just to summarize it, you guys just check the different posts. Like for instance, if a person has a bad mentality, from their post and whatever the activity they are doing, it like you can like check that like they have a negative intent. So from there, just checking their public data, they have posted about something, or they have like negative reviews about certain political party, or like certain religion. So from there, you guys, like your machine used to detect that, and then like the authorities are reported. It's like it's a great thing. And now like when you talk about like serving with like big Fortune 500 companies, so what are the most common services that you guys provide? Like
we mostly provide physical security support, such as secure transportation. We are in charge of driving the main principles around. We are in charge of providing security at the residencies, coordinate their meetings, minimize any kind of risk related to their movement, or even in big events for top of the tree celebrities, we do take over the security and safety for them and their families during such events when they have big concerts or big conventions they're taking part in overseas. So A to Z, from the time they leave their country to the time they're back on their jet, we're in charge of every part of their safety and security.
Okay. So can you tell us about like how the tech is utilized in all these services? Like for instance, if a person is traveling, how you track their movement and stuff like that, because all this process, it cannot be done without using different tech services.
Yes. So part of our technology is sorting hundreds of experts across the globe. The challenge is when you start scaling to grow your business internationally. So when you're a small company that works in a specific country, it's easier. You have those people in your office. When you scale internationally, and that's what we're currently doing, you start needing technology, and that's exactly what startups are all about. It's scaling to a global level. And today, that's our challenge. So we're building a technology where we can sort experts across the globe, allocate them, be constantly updated on their status, and have a library of their documentation, because legal is big part in our business. And when we receive a specific job, automatically be able to sort, allocate, and communicate with the potential providers on the ground who will be taking over this task. It's very, very much similar to Upwork, but very personal and internal and specific. That's our first phase. The second phase would be related to our quality assurance and control. So we don't have those, let's call them team leads and consultants. We don't have them across the world, and then we provide them with our mission and we go home. We are by the minute managing the mission or the job we were just assigned to. So we have a 24/7 global operational center we call GSOC, and they follow on each task happening across the world. And it's very challenging if you want to grow your business and do that through a center of people. You will need hundreds of people. Again, that's where technology steps in. So we have a fully automated tracking system where after you get the right person, from day one, from minute one, there's 24/7 tracking of their phones, batteries, of their speed. Any issues happening, the client would go straight forward to the person at the GSOC that is in charge of that mission. Any feedback after the mission will be entered automatically in their file. That's how we maintain our quality assurance. It's a very it's a combination between Upwork and Uber for people, for, let's say, top-notch services. So that's the combination of technologies we're currently using. Still, we didn't combine them into one system, but that's our goal, hopefully in the near future, to have it all built in one in-house technology.
Yeah, it reminded me, like, for instance, you guys are like providing security to a celebrity, and then, for instance, that person move from one country to another. It is very challenging, like, because then you need like another person from that country, or that person will travel there, and like these things, it can get complex, as you mentioned. Like when it is like in just one country or like in a small vicinity, then it is easy, but when it is growing, it is very tough, like to manage everything. And like, it's
definitely that's why clients are willing usually in our market to pay sometimes 5 times what they can pay if they get 5 security companies, but they are willing to pay the 5 times number to one global provider that is good in operating what we call cross-border. If you can do cross-border smoothly, if you can have a coherent team that works as one, that's very challenging. It's a lot of logistics and a lot of quality control. That's why technology becomes vital here. The client has to work with you, and you will be utilizing 6 different teams in 4 different countries, let's say, but the client should feel as if they're all one, led by one person, maintain quality, maintain communication, and that without proper solid technology will be very hard to be done through human expertise alone. You will need an army of people and quality assurance departments.
It sounds like a movie, like, you know, like FIA intelligence guys. It's just monitoring, just checking the movement, and in case like I'm just thinking, like, in case if something happens, like you guys detect something, like there's a problem or like there's a hiccup, so you send like more guys towards that location, or like how does that work, like in case of like escalation?
It usually sounds like this and it looks like this, but it's not that cool. It's usually like any other industry. If you want to be good at it, and if you want to be able to solve problems you want to be the person they call on last minute to solve problems, you will have to have a solid network of vetted, trusted, tested people. Those 3 words are very important. Vetted, you have to know them, and trusted, you've used them, and tested. If you have such a network, the largest your network, the more valuable you are in the security industry, because no one really can have the approval, the governmental approval, the community approval to be roaming around borders with men that claim they are security experts and just act like superheroes. But you can always have the right person on the other side of the border who's well connected, respected, have good reputation, know the right people to help anyone in crisis, to leave the country very fast, or to get ambulances, air ambulances, access and special permits. It's your network and your reputation that will really help you in times of crisis. That's what you learn in this industry, because you will need different kind of people to help you finalize an emergency response. Most of the 90% of the time, an emergency response has nothing to do with sudden violence. It has to do with medical. It has to do with a family crisis, with accidents, and even with the 10% of, let's say, dramatic, violent event. It's always about having the right people on your network and having the right reputation where people would want to step in and they look at you as a legitimate party. That's what will help you. Like if you say, I'm from the Red Cross or Red Crescent, I'm sure everyone will help you. Why? Because the brand of the Red Crescent and Red Cross are beyond anything, because their name means they are here to help. It means they are here to save lives. So you can't be that similar as a security company, but you can be close enough. You can have a strong, good reputation that will push people to step in. And I think that's the key. That's what you learn.
Okay, that is great. And how do you guys make sure that, as you guys are like working with a lot of celebrities and big companies, so their personal data is secure and it is not going into the wrong hands?
It's very similar to many other industries. I think we just, as I said, we just sound more interesting because it's rare to deal with security companies. We're not as needed as medical, for example, sector. But when you go to a hospital, you would assume your doctor is as confidential, as serious dealing with your personal data as anyone else. Similar with many other industries. It's standard procedure. It's the standard procedures and systematic approaches that put data breach and share of private information on the top of priorities within this industry. If one time something leaks from your team, I think you will never be able to work with a specific kind of clients. When you take your close protection course or your security training, case studies of such events are being taught with names and people who lost their careers because they shared the wrong piece of information at the wrong time. So it's simply, that's why also not everyone is, it's not easily approached this market. And many are trying, but they end up with less, let's say, interesting roles, because you need to gain reputation before people get you in their homes and among their teams.
Yeah, that is good. That is good. And so what is the future vision and goal of Crownox? Like, what do you guys have like planned in like next 5 years or 10 years?
We started, as I said, within one country, and now we cover a region and beyond. So we cover the Middle East, North Africa, and at the moment getting more into Europe. Our coming 3 years look very exciting, as we would like to become a global company that specialize in dealing with the challenging clients, mainly international, and while maintaining a very specific target market of those who are providing something. Like we feel very proud that most of our clients are providing something unique to this world, including, as I said, the green energy, tech giants, and even individuals who are very effective in what they do and hold very, very unique messages. So we would like to keep that list growing. We would like to be that company that does adapt a problem-solving approach with very unique list of clients across the globe.
Okay, that is great. So yeah, that brings us to end of this episode, and it was a great talking to you, Hussein. And it is like very unique for me because I have never talked to someone who is working in that particular industry. And on your LinkedIn profile as well, I have seen like different posts that you share, and they are so interactive. Like I don't know, like if I have seen your post and I have missed it because they are so there's like a video, then you explain, okay, what is the problem, what that person has done right, what is wrong, and they're like they're like very good, and then they're very engaging. So yeah, that's why, like, that's the main reason I was checking your post, and I was like, yeah, this person seems very interesting, plus the work you guys are doing, and how you guys are using the tech so in that industry, because I didn't knew like how tech can be used in this, and then obviously you guys are growing and uh, making the solutions better. So yeah, that is great having you on the show.
Thank you very much, Haref, for this opportunity. It's always interesting to discuss, future plans with young, brilliant minds. It helps us also to put things in line, and it's a great opportunity. Thank you for sharing our work with your audience, and stay connected on LinkedIn. And please, guys, approach me on LinkedIn. I'm casual, and I love to answer more questions for anyone who's interested.
Yeah, I will share your LinkedIn profile and your website, all of that in the video. And if anyone wants to connect, they can connect using that. It's nice talking to you. Have a nice day.
Same here, Rebecca. Thank you. You have a good day.